Good afternoon, everyone. John Donnelly is my name from Your Holistic Academy. A very special guest today with me, Alice O'Gorman from Access Energy Healing. How are you doing today, Alice?
I'm brilliant, John. I'm great, great.
Super, high energy.
Yeah, high energy today.
Excited about life. Good stuff. So tell me a little bit about Access. Where does that name Access come from? Access Energy Healing.
Well, I think my logo, right, is this this lady, and she is kind of holding. You say she's holding. It's like a tree. She's like a tree, She's holding the branches over her head, and she's rooted into the ground. She's kind of like she's a little kind of a yoga pose, but it's like the axis. It's AXIS. It's not ACCESS. It's not that axis. It's AXIS, and it's like the body is the axis. It's the axis, and it's all about your connection to the heavens and above, and also your rooting into the earth, and energetically we're connected to both, and I suppose the axis for me is the axis point is the body, connecting us above and below, and I suppose energy wise, I work with energy, and I suppose it's the access point between the physical and all the spiritual, mental, emotional. It's the access point, I suppose.
Brilliant. I love it, Alice. And so it's getting that balance and the alignment, if you like. It's probably alignment is the word, to get the balance right between all the different energies.
Yeah. I do. It's all about alignment, and even your spine. Your spine is so important. And it is like an access point as well. It's the axis on which everything else kind of nearly is kind of holding off. So it's a pivotal point. So
I love the name.
It kind of means a lot to me.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, Alice. So tell me, your journey started with the bioenergy. Was it bioenergy therapy?
Yeah. Back in it's not my journey is quite, I'm not, my journey only started really, I suppose over 4 years ago, when I stepped out from my old job in the corporate world, and I stepped out into the whole world of bioenergy therapy, and trained. So I suppose my grounding training is in the bioenergy therapy. Yeah,
like myself, Alice, that was actually my first introduction to the whole world of energy healing, was bioenergy way back 20 years ago. And at the time, I was fascinated, absolutely fascinated by, because I didn't understand the whole the way our energy feels, and all the different layers, if you like. I mean, I thought I'm just a physical body here, but then I suddenly realized, wow, there's all these other layers that I don't even know about, really. I was so fascinated by the whole thing back then, But how do you explain to somebody who hasn't experienced that? How do you explain that to people?
I suppose, so you have your physical body. You can touch and feel your physical body, but also you have your energetic body now, and it's not standing beside you or in front of you or behind you. It's part of you. It's like your energy body is what your physical body is built on. It's the blueprint, So you have this energy matrix or systems, that are integrated into your physical body, and channeled into your physical body, and we ourselves are electrical beings. We're electrical. Every single, we've trillions of cells, and in every cell there's a charge, around every cell. So we're very electrical, and I suppose sometimes, so you this energy, entering and leaving the body, it's moving through channels, and it's I just find it hard to explain it sometimes, but so it's I suppose what I'm really trying to get across is that it's as important as the blood vessels flowing through your body, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, this energy can get stuck, you know, you know, it can get blocked, or you can have maybe accumulation of maybe lower vibrational energy within the body as well.
Yeah.
So the bioenergy is, I suppose, what you're trying to do with the bioenergy is to release those blocks, you know, where there's a build up, you know, of energy that's causing you pain, or, you know, or it could be physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, or spiritual pain sometimes, you know. So you're working, you know, to release out that stuck energy or that build up of energy within the body, and to help everything to flow perfectly, and to balance everything as well, you know. And it's, so I don't know, did I answer that question?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and it's all about movement, and movement. I mean, everything is energy, and we're all connected to this energy vibration all the time. So it's about the movement. We're not supposed to sit all the time. We're not supposed to lie down all the time. We're supposed to actually move. That's really what, as a physical human being, we're actually supposed to move and flow, if you like, and flow with the energy, if you like.
Yeah.
And that's like, so the bioenergy is like addressing all those you know, blockages, if you like, and on all the different layers, then the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. So yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, I just love this whole world of energy, you know, energy therapy and energy healing. And you've done other modalities as well, then, Alice, not just the bioenergy.
Yeah, like I say, you know, I've trained in a good few other modalities, and sometimes, you know, now I will mention them but sometimes I don't really like putting too many labels upon on what I do, because sometimes, you know, different therapies that you're doing, you know, don't necessarily stand alone. They can be used like a toolbox, you know. It's like a toolbox. And every time you train in something new, it's a new tool that you can use and integrate, you know, into your when someone comes to for help, you know. So I suppose the other things that I have gone and trained in, I've trained with Tom Griffin in Mayo with the HiddenMind Corrective Sound therapy, an access consciousness practitioner, emotion code practitioner, and integrated energy therapy practitioner. So you know, it's building away, you know. So I have a lot of bits, and they're all you know, they're all a bit different, but at the end of the day, you're still working with energy, and it's still the same life force energy, but you're just manipulating the energy slightly differently to get a different result, you know. So
you're sort of fine tuning your craft all the time, and you're adding new sort of new learnings, and you're growing in your awareness yourself, and you're growing in your ability then to connect with people on all different sort of levels then. So so that's great. So you've been really working hard on all those trainings, Alice, for the last few years.
You know, and it, you know, it's exciting because every new thing that you train in, it kind of reveals something new to you, you know, and it's exciting to have, you know, something else to help, you know, the people that are coming to you. It all helps, you know. They're all little nuggets. They're all little golden nuggets, and they're all there to help in different ways.
Of course, brilliant. And I mean, your clients will appreciate the fact that, you know, maybe one thing isn't for them, but to find an answer in some other discipline or some other therapy. So you're adding value, if you like, all the time. So tell us, what actually led you into the whole field of energy? You were in the corporate world, Alice, and there was a bit of stress, was there?
Well, you know, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so I was working in quality. So I worked, you know, in quality assurance and quality control. Worked in the lab. You know, so it was very analytical, very measured, very structured. You know, very procedure driven. So it was very, you know, very left brain kind of work. You know, and for many years I was quite happy to do it, and you know, I had was in a good company and good people around me. So you know, it was a good working experience, but different, you know, as I was moving through it, you know, so I was there 17 years. So, you know, a big chunk of my working life. you know, was in that environment. And just, you know, there were a few different things that kind of made me question the whole, I suppose, is this really for me? Am I meant to be here in doing this work for the rest of my life? You know, like one experience I had, I know it sounds very different or very an unusual thing to maybe make you think to even change your mind and stuff, but it was actually back in 2008 when I went and I worked for a couple of weeks in an orphanage in Belarus.
Right.
No, and you know, I was very grateful to get to go out and to have that experience and to meet these children who had nothing. And a lot of them had, you know, major disabilities, and there was a lot of those children that were in beds and, you know, might never, you know, really get an opportunity to come out of the beds. And it was, you know, spending that 2 weeks with them and leaving them on the last day, you know, my heart actually broke open. You know, it actually broke open. And when I came back to, you know, the place I was working, it just made no sense to me. Wow. You know, it was making no sense because this was real life. These were real children. This was reality. And next thing you were going back into, you know, an environment of, you know, bureaucracy and, you know, procedure. And it just, none of it made sense. Yeah. And I think that never kind of really left me. You know, I kind of, you know, it took me a while to kind of adjust back into that environment again. Yeah. But I would say it was the first thing that, you know, shook me to question about where I was working, you know, and what I was doing and how happy I was doing it, you know. Yeah. So, and it wasn't really until, you know, so I would say when my children started coming along then, you know, over the next few years, you know, it kind of, again, it was shifting stuff in me, like, and I was becoming less and less aligned to what I was doing. It was less and less, it was making less and less sense to me. Yeah. You know, it wasn't resonating with me. You know, I had a good job, I was well looked after, but I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing. Yeah. I was just kind of getting along, you know, going along, and your logical mind would say, you know, mind that good job now, you know, better mind that good job. Yeah. But, you know, the good job actually did me a favor because they had to close down operations and I was offered redundancy. Right. So when I had to make the decision, John, on what I wanted to do next, the thought of going looking to do what I was doing actually made me sick. Yeah. You know, so that was a very big physical indicator to me that this was not suiting me anymore. Yeah. And you know, I had been tipping away, you know, just investigating the world of energy. Yeah. And, you know, it was exciting. And I actually opened myself up to the possibility, you know, that I could actually, you know, train in bioenergy therapy. And, you know, it just lit me up. It was just, you say that the difference in the feeling was like, you know, poles apart. Like when I actually opened up to the possibility of learning about energy and actually maybe having becoming self-employed doing that. It was like, oh my God, like, you know, not having a clue about business, you know, not having a clue about what it means to be self-employed, but just knowing that the feeling I had was so strong and so exciting that if I was to, once I had made that decision, if I was to go back and do what I was doing, it would have killed me. You know, it was that strong. Yeah. And even now, you know, because you know, I just say when you're stepping out into something new, into being self-employed for the first time, you know, and not understanding what business is, other than you're going on your you know, on a huge desire or passion or whatever, you know, hoping it'll all work out. You know, it's like it's just it can be very scary, you know, it can be very scary. But I kind of always felt that, you know, no matter how scary it was, that somehow I figure it out. Just need to keep going and to have a little bit of faith and to just, in a way, kind of allow yourself to be guided and know that I'm going to be supported, you know. And it has served me well so far, you know.
Brilliant, yeah. I like it. It reminds me of my own story, Alice. When you connect, I mean, you connect into the energy and you connect to that emotional layer, I guess, and the emotional energy sort of starts to flow a bit more. And I think probably even just one or two sessions of bioenergy can actually you can achieve that, and suddenly you've got this emotional sort of something drawing you towards a life of a different type of life, a life of where you want to open your heart and you want to be of service and you want to figure out how best to help other people. And so I think that's probably that reminds me of my own story, how it's like once you open that sort of channel, if you like, into your emotional layer and open your heart a bit, it's hard to go back to just working from the head all the time, isn't it?
You say you do need your head, like, you know, I didn't lose I didn't lose it, because you do need your head and you do need it to have it screwed on. But you know, when you step into that type of work, you need to kind of be able to park the left brain and to, you know, fall into the heart, because that's where the healing is coming from. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from the hands, you know, and all that. But it's you know, it's through the heart. You know, it's healing through the heart as well as the hands and everything. But you know, you have to be able to fall into that place, and you have to, in some ways, you don't lose your head. You know, you keep on both sides of your brain. But you do have to kind of be able to park it a little bit and not let it take over. You know, you have to be able to stand aside and allow that the healing to come through the heart. You know, and your intuition and your intention and all that is so important. You know. Yeah.
So that so it takes a bit of courage then, Alice, to sort of step out of because you were 17 years in the job, and suddenly like the job income is gone. And now you've got to, it takes a bit of courage then to follow those instincts, to follow your intuition, and not to be dragged back into the security, if you like, of the job situation. Yeah.
But it's you know, I suppose a lot of people would have thought, you know, I was mad, you know, why, you know, really, because I suppose even in my family, you know, there isn't anyone. You know, it's not that I come from a family of healers, you know, that kind of way. Well, not that I know of anyway. No one that's doing what I'm doing anyway. So you're kind of, you know, let's just say I was supported and encouraged, but, you know, it's hard for people to understand, you know, what the hell are you doing? Like, you know, would you not go down and do what you were doing before? Wouldn't you be better off? But you know what? Maybe I would have been better off financially. I'd been more secure doing what I was doing, but I wouldn't be better off in my joy or in my happiness. I have, like, in the last, say, 4 years, you know, I feel like I'm not even the same person that I was 4 years ago, you know, and the amount of knowledge and you know, just how far I've come in 4 years, you know, it's just amazing. Like, you know, it's just amazing when you open yourself up to the journey, you know. It's absolutely. And
exhilarating. I said Tom Griffin was a huge influence, Alice, was he?
Oh yeah, and you know, he still is, you know, he's still, you know, I really admire Tom and what he does. He's a master of his trade, and you know, he was and all of his team, you know, it wasn't just Tom, you know, he had a wonderful team behind him. So, you know, with all of those, you know, it was a great starting point for me, you know, a really, really great solid foundation for me to build upon, you know. So I'm very grateful to him for that, you know. He's an amazing man.
Brilliant, Alice. So tell me a little bit about your work now, because obviously with the lockdown, it's obviously difficult to you can't really lay hands on people at the moment.
Well, it has been a big challenge, you know, and it has been a big challenge for all of us, you know, holistic practitioners, you know, to be able to survive, you know, over these lockdowns. so I suppose I'm back open. My clinic is back open, so I'm taking people one to one. You know, I guess, which is really good. But what the lockdown kind of opened up for me was the whole area of distance healing, John. Because if I can't accept people into my clinic, you know, I can't, you know, operate my business. I can't make an income. You know, I'm kind of, my hands are tied. But actually, you know, energy is a funny thing. You know, there is no time or space when you're working with energy. You know, it is lovely, like it is lovely to come into a physical space with someone and for them to put their hand on your head or on your heart, or, you know, to work on you. And that's a lovely, you know, a lovely experience. But, you know, with energy, you don't need to be in the room. You can be the other side of the world and you can connect, because we're all connected to the fields of energy, you know. There is no distance, you know. It's like me and you know, okay, it's a bit more physical, I can see you, but you know, it's not really that much different, you know, we are connected in real time, you know, so your energy is the same. And that is something that has opened up for me big time since the lockdown, especially the second lockdown began, is offering distance healing for people, because a lot of the therapies that I do can actually translate to time and space, you know. You don't need to be in the room, you know. And also, you know, the feedback from people that have received the distance healing is amazing, you know. You know, even for me, so, you know, even for me to be able to get feedback from people and to be so positive, and as positive as if you're coming into the clinic, you know. So it has been, you know what, out of something, you know, that could be a disaster, you know, something really good has come out of it. So it's another little thing that I can offer. It's a big thing that I can offer to people, and you're not constrained by the borders of Limerick, Galway, Tipperary. Do you know what I mean? That you know, you can be in the comfort of your home and to receive healing. You know, so it's another blessing really in energy healing. You know, and like, if I was a hairdresser now, it'd be harder to put your hair, or, you know, in lockdown.
Absolutely.
You know, so
it's great that you've sort of I guess explored this whole world, and you found all these gifts, Alice, that you have, and now you're sharing those gifts with the rest of the world, basically. So it's brilliant. It must seem like just completely different to what you were doing 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
It's you know, it's funny, I can hardly remember, you know, the world that I was in. You know, it's really strange, because it's so different. It actually feels like another lifetime. You know, I feel like another lifetime. It's so different. It's so weird, you know. And in you know, in some ways, you know, and it's a funny thing, because I'm sure people would argue that the opposite, but I feel like I'm living in the real world now. Other people might argue the opposite of that.
The people that knew you 10 years ago, they think they're living in the real world.
But you know, I suppose the world is more than what we can see, you know, and feel. And I suppose that's what I mean in the sense of the real world, that there's more to the world than what we can see or feel or touch. It's beyond that, you know, it's beyond that.
And of course, there's huge advances now in quantum physics and quantum mechanics, and all. I'm just fascinated, absolutely fascinated by all of this. I think it's amazing, you know, and the impact that we can have, as you said, just by sitting in your own home, and you don't even have to leave your front door, and you can have an impact somewhere on the other side of the world. Like, I'm just fascinated by that whole concept, and learning more about it all the time. It just opens you up to a whole new way of thinking, doesn't it?
Would you believe it? Only in the last, you know, it's not even a week ago, I have invested in a new medical device called the Healy device that will be coming to my clinic now hopefully within the next few weeks. But it's all again about bioenergetics and frequency and resonance and balancing the bioenergetics of the body. And it is, and you are working with it's the electrical systems and helping to balance the electrical systems. So it's just, again, it's another mind-blowing kind of area that I'm just starting to encounter into as well. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited about where that's going to lead and how it's going to help people. I'm really excited about that now.
Yeah, and there's amazing new technologies coming out now all the time around this whole area of energy, and it's very, very exciting time, Alice. Yeah. So tell me, in terms of how people could get in touch with you, and what type of clients do you feel that you need to work with you, Alice, or is it anybody in particular?
Okay, well, I suppose just how to contact me. I suppose I'm on Facebook, okay, and I have my business page is on Facebook, Access Energy Healing. So you can send me a message, or my phone is there. You can ring for an appointment or message me for an appointment. I'm actually building a website at the moment. So by the end of February, I'm hoping to have that up and running. So that'll be another little kind of a place where people will be able to find me. Unfortunately, I can't give you the web address at the moment, but by the end of February, I should have a website up and running. And just the type of clients, I suppose the people, if you're feeling a little bit stuck, if you feel a little bit stuck, you can't kind of balance yourself, or you're feeling just a little bit lost in your way. I know I can help you. If you're feeling, if you're feeling a little bit down, or anxious, or any of that kind of feeling, this is something that can help you. If you're experiencing trouble with sleep, with pain, with really, any of those things and more. I suppose I'm not even really touching on how it can help people, but I do think people sometimes don't even realize what they need, or what they need, or when they have energy work done, they weren't realizing what they were going to get. You might go in, with a pain, and you're working on the pain, but actually, something else is shifting within you as well, so it can, elevate the mood, and just even get you thinking differently, it's I don't know if I'm explaining that right or wrong.
No, it's brilliant, Alice. I feel your passion for what you do. It's just shining through here. You absolutely love what you do now. So that's that's testament. I think that's the only testament you need really is when you have that sort of passion and that sort of belief and trust in what you do. That just shines through here. So I'm loving that. I'm loving hearing that, Alice. And tell us, you've come on board with us at the Your Holistic Academy as well. So you're going to be coming and working with us on the project, which is brilliant, because we need people with that energy, and we need people with that passion and that sort of desire to make a difference and to help people. So.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. Because I had been looking for, exactly what you're offering, John, with the Holistic Academy, just as you say, a group of like-minded people who are there to support and uplift and help each other. And that's what you do. And you're helping to make connections, helpful connections with people. So I think that's so important. Because, when you're stepping out into this world, you do need to have a support network around you, and the right one, the right support network. And I feel for me, this is the right support network for me. So I'm very, grateful that, you reached out. And actually Fiona Brennan also reached out to me as well. I'm very glad to be here, you know, and I think that you're creating something wonderful here. So
yeah,
you know, I would encourage others to step in and be supported, you know.
Yeah, and it is. We're all, as I say, everything is energy, and we're all connected, and we need to build those connections and collaborations with people, as you said, like-minded people who have a sort of a desire, if you like, to be of service and to be to get the message out there that there is a better way to live, if you like, and so that's really what it's, at the end of the day, is people want to be healthy and happy, don't they? That's really what everybody wants.
That's it, you know, and just I mean, we're only here for a short time, you know, and you know, it's not about, you know, plugging away 9 to 5. You have to be plugged into life, like you have to be experiencing life. It's not about, you know, checking in and out every day. You have to, because look at, we're here to experience and to create. We're not here to just muddle through. We're here for an experience, and you know, that's what, you know, I want for everybody. I want them to be able to experience joy and to love their life and to, you know,
brilliant. Yeah, I love that expression. I love that expression, Alice. You have to be plugged into life. That's like,
you do have to be plugged into life.
That makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, effectively, that's what it's about. It's about being connected to life and being connected to that high energy vibration, you know, which uplifts people, and you know, people are happy, and I mean, all those emotions, all those positive emotions make such a massive difference in anybody's life. So yeah, and so you're sort of connecting people with that, with just by being connected to it yourself, Alice, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I it's something that, you know, that keeps coming, you know, back, that feedback that keeps coming back from people, and you know, I just say they're coming with something completely different, you know. So that, you know, they are getting helped, okay, with what they come with, but it's like, as they're kind of moving through and they're looking, you know, you're gonna you have your treatments, and you know that, and you have to move a little bit forward to be able to look back. And you know, people are seeing just a big shift within themselves, you know, that it's like the cogs are starting to kind of, you know, fit into place, and things are moving, you know, where maybe they were stuck before. And that, you know, just to be able to give a person the lift that they need, because some people are so low in themselves, they actually cannot feel or experience the joy that is within life, and they're completely cut off from it. You know, and that is a disconnection from, you know, there's disconnections going on for a person when that is happening. And to be able to light up your Christmas tree, then the chakras, they remind me of my Christmas tree lights, you know. When you have a few of them blown, you know, it pulls a whole lot down, you know. So I explain to people, like, you know, I'm just really putting in a new bulb, or I'm putting in a fuse, and you know, that's what it is. You're lighting them up. You're getting them lit, you know, getting them lit, like, and you know, so they are able to connect in to their creativity, their joy, you know, to be able to be, you know, to find their voice, you know, to be connected into your throat chakra, you know, and you know, different chakras represent different things for us, and if they're shut down, if you're in fear, and if you're very unsolid in yourself, maybe your root chakra is completely disconnected, and you're feeling very anxious, and you're feeling very, you know, whatever. It's like, you know, here, let me light you up, like, you know, I'm going to put in a few bulbs and we get you lit, and let you enjoy life, you know, to feel a lightness, to feel that you're not heavy all the time, and that there's hope. That if I could give anything to if the thing that I want to give people most of all is hope. You know, when someone is down so much and they can't, you know, they're worn out, everything is, you know, I suppose they could be just completely exhausted from life and running in the rat race.
Yeah.
To be able to give them, you know, to light them up and to give them hope and to say, well, you know what, you know, I can do this, you know, and you know, there's better things out there, and you know, I can do it, I can do it, and to go with that sense of lightness and energy. And so when I get feedback from people that this is something that has happened for them, it just actually, it lights me up, you know, and it gives me, you know, and the desire to keep going, you know, and keep learning and keep finding different ways to help people, you know.
So, it's brilliant, Alice. I love it. You know, I love it. And it's like you really find you find your passion, you find what really motivates you, what inspires you, and then you can inspire other people then as well. And as you said, light them up. I love that, Alice. That's brilliant. I love it. I love it. So listen, Alice, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love this. We could talk all day. I love this whole talk about energy and about the different layers. And so we're delighted to have you as part of the team at Your Holistic Academy, and we look forward to sharing loads of projects in the future and connecting with all of the brilliant energy workers out there like yourself, Alice, as well. So thank you so much, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been a great conversation. Thank you, Alice.
And thank you so much, John. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak, and it's great to be here, and thank you for everything.
Right. Okay, talk to you soon, Alice. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.